I think you're okay there, yeah. All right, here we go. Aaron Devils versus Milton Menace. Gold. Menace on the face-off. Just get it in over the Devils' blue line. Top into the far corner. Centering pass by the Menace. That one off the linesman's skate. Hopper picks it up at the half boards. Has it in his feet. Not sure where it went. Devils clear up the center ice. Menace. Lead pass. Dumped in over the Devils' blue line to the far side. Topper behind the net. Loose puck. McEwen sends it to the far corner. Barlow gets it up to center ice, just behind Martin. McDonald picks up the loose puck. He'll bring it over the blue line. Shot, and he scores! Devils goal scored by number 11, Owen McDonald. Assisted by number 23, Tyus Parlow. 14-18 to go in the first period. Donald in for the face-off, wins that one for it, brings it in over the blue line. Just gets bumped, puck goes to the near corner. Schleier behind the net, centering pass off a foot. Milton goaltender kept that one out. Centering pass in over the Devils blue line. Tries to cut through the middle. Paquette puts his man into the net, and that'll take it off the post. Face off inside the Devils zone, won by the Menace. Misfired. That'll slide towards the net, picked up by McDonald here, cleared out of the zone. McDonald in over the left wing, shot blocked in front, rebound goes to the far corner. Menace to the half boards, Freer pinching, kept it in the zone. Schleier behind the net, tried to play it out front, comes to head on the far boards. Cut off the glass, sends it into the Menace zone. They'll clear it down into the Devils' end for icing. Marcinko in for the face-off. He wins that back to Marlborough at the point. He lets the shot go. Through traffic, rebound. Marcinko buries it for the Devils' second goal of the night. Devils goal scored by number 7, Braden Marcinko. Assisted by number 17, William Hinneman. 13:25 to go in the first period. Marcinko back in for the Devils. Run back by the Menace. They'll play that up through center. Icing waved off. Milks sets that behind his net. Hinneman back to collect it off the far wing to Smith. Centering pass from Marcinko. He'll lift it in over the blue line for Bray. Bray in the near corner. Plays it behind the net to the far side. Menace are there. Marcinko at the half boards. Picks it up. Gets it to Hinneman. Dumps it into Bray. Out front. Marlborough sends it to the far boards. Menace fire that down the ice. Icing waved off. Marlborough to Hinneman. Just past him. That'll go to the Menace blue line. They'll cycle it around the far wing. In over the left side of the Devils territory. Taking behind the net. Hinneman grabs that, spins towards the outside corner. Lead pass from Martin. He'll touch that at center and pick it up in the near side. Centering attempt off the back of the net. Comes to the Menace. They'll play it up through center past everybody. Icing waved off. Topner hits the brakes behind the net. Gives that to McDonald on the far wing. McDonald down the right side and over the blue line. Cuts towards the net. Centering pass. Martin with the shot. Menace goaltender got a piece of it, and they'll clear it down into the Devils territory. Heartbreak shot. Milks makes the save. Rebound. Picked up by McEwen, and he'll lead the breakout. Cross ice to Parlow. Parlow in the far corner. Behind the net up to the near wing. Back to McEwen at the point. He'll dump it back in. Menace off the glass. Just outside their zone, McDonald. Chips it back in. Menace turn and fire that down for icing. McDonald into the face-off. And that back to Freer across to Paquette. He lets a shot go just over the net. McDonald got stripped of it in the far corner. Menace spinning off the boards to center ice. Paquette sends it to the near side for Schleier. That goes just under his stick, and the Menace will clear that out of his zone. Freer stops him at center. Menace in over the right side. Weak shot, got his way through. Milks makes the pad save. He's back to the blue line. Menace throw it through traffic, and that deflects to the near corner. Out front, Milks tried to get a handle on it. Paquette clears it behind the net to Freer. The Schleier at the blue line. That got knocked back to McDonald. He'll bring it up the left side. Donald in over the blue line. He's got Douglas behind the net. Tried to play it out front. Douglas pressuring on the far side. The Menace will bring that up through center. Hard beside the Devils net. Marlborough sends it down the ice. Icing waved off. Marcinko's in applying pressure. Menace at the far side. Hinneman picks that off at the half boards. Hinneman walks in front. Gets it to Marcinko. In front to Bray with the shot. Nets off. And now they'll get the whistle. Marcinko steps in for the face-off. Gets that back to Marlborough at the point shot. Bad save. Rebound goes to Hinneman on the far wing. He'll lift that off the boards behind the net. Menace around the near wing. Marlborough with the shot. That hit, I think, Marcinko along the way. Cleared to the far corner. Hinneman tries to dump it in off the Menace player. That comes back to the Devils blue line. Marlborough to Bray. Bray throws it on net. Knocks the stick out of the Menace defender. Rebound shot goes through to the far side. Menace gets center ice and dump it into the zone. Milks. Lays it out. Sends it up the near side. Marcinko takes down the left wing in over the blue line. Behind the net to the far corner. Menace to the half boards. Played across the near side. Long lead pass in over the Devils blue line. Picked off by McDonald. He'll take it out the right side. McDonald. To the corner. Thrown out front. In the skates of Parlow. He couldn't get the shot off. Martin in the corner. Picks it up. Back to Parlow. Hops over McDonald's stick. The Menace pick it up and bring it out of the zone. Menace through center. Topner. Pushing him on the outside. Falling. And it got through. Menace scored. 8:48 to go in the first period. McDonald in for the face-off. From draw, Martin picks it up. In over the blue line, gets it to the near boards. Right, extended it deep. McEwen circling. Got to come off a stick. The Menace cleared out the zone down the near wing. Menace in over the Devils blue line again. Centering pass. Milks steers that to the far corner. Menace back to the point shot. Milks makes the save. McEwen gets the rebound to the near wing. Martin off the boards. Menace dump it back in. Right to McDonald. Across to Parlow. Into McDonald. Or Martin rather. He gets shoved into the net. The Menace are going to the box for interference. No. Sending Martin. It's the Devils penalty, number 88, Joey Martin, 2 minutes for interference. 8:10 to go in the first period. McDonald on the face-off. Menace at the blue line, turn fired. That hits Schleier's stick and goes to the near corner. Menace off the boards, back to the point. Sent back in deep to the near corner, back to the point. Misplayed by the Menace, now comes out to center ice. Menace cycling the puck around the neutral zone. Send across to the left side and over the Devils blue line. Out front shot. And it's in. That'll tie us up 2 apiece at 7:38 to go in the first. McDonald on the faceoff. One back by the Menace into their own zone, right across the far wing, up to center. Hinneman poked at it, stopped it for a second. The Menace bring it in over the blue line and cough it up to Schleier. Schleier down the right side, dropped to McDonald with the shot. That goes over the glass and out of play. McDonald on the draw. That's that to Douglas. Back to Marlborough with the shot. Missed wide. Rebound comes to Hinneman at the half boards. Puck's in the near corner. Douglas tries to grab it around. Menace pick it up and fire it into the Devils' territory. A little behind the net from the near side. Off the post. Back to the point shot. Nooks makes the save. Rebound in the far corner. Milton centering attempt picked off by Hinneman. He'll play it off the glass. To Douglas, who shovels it towards the Menace blue line. Menace turn, fired into the zone. Nooks leaves it behind his net. Comes to Marlborough. Back in behind to Hinneman. And Douglas goes into the corner to pick it up. Douglas lifts it to center ice. Menace. Turn and fire it in on target. Nooks steers it to the near side for Hinneman. Hinneman. All kinds of time with the Menace changing. He'll bring it at himself, gets center ice and lifts it into the zone. Smith gets tripped up, and the Menace are going to the penalty box. .6:17 to go in the first period. Martin in for the faceoff. Takes puck, Topner, back to McDonald with the shot. Glove down, loose puck. Sits there. Martin with the rebound, he'll bury it. Devils goal scored by number 88, Joey Martin. 6:09 to go in the first period. Marcinko in for the faceoff. Won by the Menace to the near blue line. They'll play that through center ice into the Devils' territory. Topner up to Smith. Will feed Marcinko down the right side. In over the blue line. Fell gets up and gets the puck in deep behind the net. Bray got a piece of it, send it to the far corner. It's a strange hop off the boards. Menace down the left side, centering pass. Menace winger streaking into the zone, couldn't hold on to it. Marcinko behind the net. Up to Smith, back to Marcinko. Smith cross centers for Marcinko, in over the blue line. Menace strip it, bring it down the right side. Shot. Missed wide of the net, rebounded to the far side. Menace carry it behind, centering pass. Off the pad of Milks, he'll make the save, rebound. And they'll blow the whistle. McDonald in for the faceoff. Picked up by the Menace to the blue line. They'll play that into the half boards before cycling it in deep behind the net. Centering attempt, didn't quite make it the right direction. McDonald, the freer, backhand pass to Douglas at the half boards. He'll lift it out over the blue line. Menace bring it back on their own end. Turn and fired. McDonald sent it in, but he has to wait at the blue line for the Devils to clear. Menace back in the Flyers or Devils territory. Douglas off the boards to the blue line. Menace with the shot, blocked in front by Paquette. McDonald picks up the loose puck and takes it up the middle. He'll lift that into the Menace zone. Clear to the near corner, Slyer's there. Steps around one, gets it behind the net to the far side. Menace off the boards to Paquette at the point. He'll turn and fire it back in the zone. Menace to their blue line and up through center. They'll lift that high into the Devils' territory. Freer behind the net to Paquette. Cross to McDonald. To Martin down the right side. Martin in over the blue line. Wheels it in, shoots. Martin scores. 4:02 to go in the first period. His third. Martin gets his second of the period. Put the Devils back in front by 2. McDonald in for the faceoff. Loose puck. Hinneman pokes at it, gets it just over center ice, and Menace back in the Devils' territory. Good play by McDonald to keep it out of the way. Off the glass to neutral ice. Fired from outside the Devils' territory. Milks makes the easy save and plays it for Hinneman. Hinneman off the glass to Parlow. Parlow in over the blue line. Back to McDonald or Martin. Martin cuts through the middle. Still has it to McDonald, who missed the one-timer. Hinneman at the blue line, turns, fires. Blocker save. Marlborough picks up the loose puck. Drags it into the near corner. Goes back to Martin at the half boards. He'll play it to McDonald. Dumps it back into the pile. Clear to the blue line. McDonald picks it up. Turns, cuts back into the zone. McDonald to the near side. Gets stripped of it. Puck battle in the corner. Parlow comes out with it. Pass intended for Hinneman. A cross intercepted by the Menace. They'll bring it in over the left wing. Centering pass. About 2 feet in front of him. He'll turn and fire, and Wilkes holds it for the whistle. Cinco for the faceoff. Wins that back to McEwen, who plays it off the glass behind the net. Smith on the far wing. Topner to Marcinko. He'll clear the zone. Up through center, intended for Bray. Menace get it to the blue line, but not out. Menace to the far corner of their own end. Up through the middle. Almost picked off by Marcinko. Played back to Topner. Falling, he turns and fires. No icing. The goaltender's out to play it. Bray, Marcinko. In the far corner to McEwen, just outside the zone. Across to Paquette. He'll send it to the near side for Marcinko. Smith drags it in over the blue line. Menace, strip it, cut towards the net. Milks with the bad save. Rebound cleared out by McEwen down the ice. Icing waved off. Menace to the near wing. Paquette picks it off and dumps it into the zone. 1:40 to go in the first period. McDonald picks that up the half boards and brings it behind the net. Hits the brakes. Plays it out front. Both Devils were on the other side. Weren't able to connect with it. Menace dump it back into the Devils' territory. Paquette back to pick it up. They play it behind for Freer. Freer spinning. Gets it to Douglas on the half boards. He'll play it to the blue line out. Schleier picks that up at center ice and over the blue line. Check by the Menace. Schleier still on it at the half board. Sends it to Paquette. Shot through traffic. Menace goaltender got a toe on that one to kick it to the far boards. 1 minute to go in the first period. Menace to their blue line. McDonald intercepted that. Pokes it towards the Menace blue line. They'll play it back into the Devils' territory. Freer off the near wing to McDonald. Had that go just behind him. Schleier in. McDonald got out in time. Schleier to the far wing. Behind the net for McDonald. McDonald to Paquette at the point. Paquette throws it on net. Bad save, rebound. Picked up by the Menace behind their net. They'll play it off the near wing. And up through center. Good stick by Parlow to clear the zone. Gets to Martin. It's up to McDonald. He gets a little bit of an extra hit. I don't think the Milton parents saw the cross check while McDonald was on the ice, but 18 seconds to go in the period. McDonald in for the face-off. One forward to Martin. Across to Parlow, just overskated it. McDonald picks that up at the blue line, tries to cut in. McDonald lifts it in off the far boards. Menace turn and fire it to center ice, stopped by the ref. Intimate turns, fires at the buzzer, and that'll do it for the first period. Mm-hmm. Here we go to start the second period. Donald on the draw, gets that forward to Martin and over the blue line. Martin lifts it to the corner. Parlow behind the net. Parlow holds it there. Donald steps in, loose puck picked up by the Menace. He'll play it to the near wing. Martin intercepts it, gets it to Parlow. He'll send it across ice. Menace having a hard time clearing it out of their zone. Finally turned, fired, up to center. Marlborough, a little bit offside, but he got the shot off. Draws a bit of a crowd. Hmm?
They're mad because it's shot. It's like
Yeah. Yeah. Marcinko in for the face-off. It's going to draw. Menace. Here to Topner, who backhands that into the near side. Puck rolls behind the net to the far corner. Played up to the half boards. Menace, pick it up and no clear of their zone. Off the boards. That'll go for icing. Marcinko in for the face-off again. Won that back to McEwen. Across the top near the blue line. He lets a shot go, blocked in front by the Menace. Puck goes to the corner, tipped over the glass and out of play. Both teams reset. Marcinko on the draw, won by the Menace. They'll play it to the far wing. Held there by McEwen. He gets it to Smith. Backhand to Marcinko across to Bray. Puck in the near corner. Menace up to center. Topner sends that back towards the blue line, and Bray lets it go into the zone. Smith pressuring. Got a piece of it. Bray pressuring his man. Menace turn fire off the side of the net for icing. Both teams changing. McDonald in for the faceoff. Bouncing puck. Picked up by Douglas. Schleier on his skates. Flyer gets that to McDonald. McDonald with the shot. In the glove and held for the whistle. McDonald back into the face-off. Picked up by the Menace this time. Lifted over the center ice into the Devils' territory. Paquette back to pick it up. Played behind to Douglas on the near side. Douglas up to McDonald, just out of his reach. Played back into the Devils' territory by the Menace. Freer spinning off the boards, up to center to the Menace. They'll play that back into their own end. Schleier pressuring. McDonald tries to come up with it behind the net. Menace threw that through center to the Devils' blue line. Paquette's there to keep it up. Gets it out of the zone to Schleier down the left side. Schleier in over the blue line. Cuts to the corner. The puck settles down behind the net. Centering pass to Paquette. Shot. He scores. Devils goal scored by number 44, Alexander Paquette. Assisted by number 20, Dante Douglas. 12:37 to go in the second period. McDonald into the faceoff. Picked up by Martin. He'll lift that into the near corner. Not quite sure how there wasn't a tripping call there. Menace to the blue line. Martin kept it in to the far side. Menace turn fired back to Martin. He feeds Marlborough with the shot. Tipped just over the net and out of play. Face off to the right of the Menace goaltender. McDonald in to take it. Loose puck. Barlow to Hinneman. He'll send it across to Marlborough, who's a little bit too far off the line. Menace in over the Devils' blue line, but offside. That'll bring the face off just outside the Devils' territory. McDonald in to take it. From draw, McDonald picks that to the right side, plays it up to Martin and over the blue line, throw it on net, loose puck. Menace threw that up through the middle. Hinneman back to collect it in his own end. Hits the brakes. Sends it out the far side for Marlborough, who takes it in over the left wing. Marlborough got the puck in deep. Menace cleared up to the blue line and out. Past Hinneman. And Hinneman's going to the box. And it's a penalty shot. Just go, Sheldon. That's the top of the crease shot. Over the shoulder and in. .11:35 to play in the second period. Marcinko steps in to take the face off. Menace picked that one up and bring it in over the right side. Misfire, Marcinko clears it to the blue line and kicks it up to center. Bray in over the blue line, lets the shot go. Big rebound. Devils weren't able to get a stick on it. McEwen at the blue line gets it off the boards to Marcinko. Thrown out front, Marcinko with the backhand. Missed just wide. Bray in the near corner. He gets bumped off of it. Marcinko pressuring. Menace off the blast to the half boards and out of play. Marcinko in for the face-off. One back to Bray with a quick shot. That hit his stick and goes high out of play. Both teams reset. Marcinko on the draw, one by the Menace to the near corner. They'll turn, fire it harder on the boards. McEwen pinching. Gets it back into the corner. Marcinko to McEwen, who sends it behind the net to the near corner for Bray. Bray gets the break, still has it, walks off the boards with it, thrown out in front. Menace intercepted. Menace, the far side. Icing waved off. Topner gets there first. Menace played behind the net. McEwen in. Marcinko runs into his man. McEwen comes up with a puck in the corner. McEwen up to Smith. Smith, the lead pass for Bray and over the blue line. Bray takes the corner behind the net. Tries to throw it out front, intercepted by the Menace. They'll take it to the near side before backhanding it to the blue line and out. Menace fired wide of the net. Menace going to the box, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Devils back on the power play with just under 10 minutes to go in the second period. Martin in for the face-off. From draw, comes back to McDonald at the point. Field feed Parlow. Parlow in the far corner. Trying to find some room. Turns, plays it off the backboards to Martin on the near side. Martin out front for Slyer. One-touch pass to Parlow with a shot. Didn't get all of it. The puck squirts past the net. Parlow along the half boards to the blue line. Thrown on net. Steered just wide. Martin on it in the near side. Martin to McDonald at the point. Shot. That sailed just over the net. Rebound comes to Parlow. Parlow got stripped of it. Menace up through center. McDonald with a good back check. Breaks it up. Hangs his stick out there. Gets the puck to Martin on the far wing. Martin to Slyer up through center. He'll bring it in over the blue line. Shot. That hit a Menace player and deflected wide of the net. Parlow in the far corner. Turns, sends it behind the net to Martin. Out front. Bouncing puck. Comes to the blue line. McDonald doing a good job keeping it in the zone. Back to Martin. Martin at the far corner to Paquette, or Parlow rather. Martin. His shot was blocked. Parlow kept it in at the blue line to McDonald. McDonald shovel pass into Slyer. He'll try to play it behind the net, but that hits the ref. Back to Slyer. Across to Parlow. He's got some room. Walks in. Lets the shot go. Rebound. Sits there for a second before it's cleared out the far wing. Menace send it down the ice. Milks. Leaves it there for McDonald. Runs a bit of interference. Menace come up with it. Shot. They score shorthanded. I think so. The Milton goaltenders not doing so good. McDonald in for the face-off. Picked up by Hinneman. He'll chip it to the Menace blue line and turn fire back into the Devils zone. Hinneman. Hard around the boards to the far wing for Douglas. He gets pinched. Menace chipped it down with a late change. And McDonald's going to the box for cross-checking. Slyer in for the face-off. He wins that back to the far corner. Marlborough had a piece of it. Menace cleared to the far point. Shot. Milks makes a save. Rebound sits there. Saved by Milks again to the far corner. Marlborough drags it into the boards. He'll hold it as long as he can. Menace back to the blue line. Kept in to the far near wing. Shot blocked in front by Hinneman. He'll reach for that, shove it out into the center ice. Milton back on their own end. Pass up to center. To the near wing. In over the Devils' blue line. Hinneman pressing. Slyer turns and fires on net. Marcinko pressuring. Drives a Menace player into the near corner. Hinneman comes up with it. Slyer had his stick tied up between his legs and couldn't get the shot off. Menace cleared it through center in over the Devils' blue line to the near side. Marlborough to the blue line but not out. Shot through traffic. That didn't hit the net. Menace with possession of the far point into the half boards. They'll dump it in behind the Devils' net. Skate to the near side, up to the point. Across, one-timer. Didn't go anywhere. Looks like the Devils got another guy going to the box. William Hinneman. So we'll have a 5-on-3 for 35 seconds. McDonald in for the face-off. McDonald wins the draw to Paquette, who turns and fires it down the Milton end. .20 seconds to go in the first penalty. Milton up the near side, in over the Devils' blue line to the corner and behind the net. Paquette pressuring, pins the puck in deep, gets to the far corner. Menace to the blue line. Lets a shot go, missed wide. I don't know if Milks saw all of that one. Menace at the half boards. First Devils penalty's over. They'll clear it out. Martin picks it up. In over the Menace blue line. He'll get it to the corner. Centering pass intended for McDonald. Just a little too far in front of him. McDonald doing a good job keeping it in the Menace zone. They'll lift it off their winger. Comes to Paquette, who turns and dumps it on the Menace net. Loose puck. Martin pressuring. Menace to the blue line and out. And over the Devil zone. Paquette picks that one up. Lead pass just outside of Martin's reach. Menace goaltender plays it around the near side. They'll send it back in behind their net. Menace up to the blue line to center. Paquette's there to pick it up. He'll move his way into the Menace zone to the near corner. Paquette holds it there for a couple seconds. Menace strip it from him and bring it out the far side. Menace in over the Devils' blue line. Touch to the corner. Picked off by Topner. He'll bring it through center ice in over the Menace blue line to McDonald. He's spinning in the near corner. McDonald back up to the blue line. Just runs out of room. Devils do a good job killing off those penalties. Back to 5-on-5. Bray sends it to Marlborough. That's center ice. Marlborough turns, fires. High off the glass, and it'll come back to center ice to Marlborough. Sends it to the blue line. Bray picks it up and brings it in the zone. Bray to the far corner. Drops it there for Smith. Back to Paquette at the point. He turns and fires, missed wide. Marlborough at the half boards. To Marcinko. Up to Smith in the slot. He'll cut to the far wing. Centering pass. Out of Bray's reach. Marlborough couldn't settle that puck down. Smith at center ice. As a stick check. Bray picks him up. Smith sends it back to Paquette. To Marlborough on the near side. He'll bring it in over the blue line. Hits the brakes. Has the puck knocked off a stick, and the Menace clear that to the Devils' blue line. Paquette gets a stick under the arm, but still manages to clear the puck out of the zone. Cross ice to the far wing. Menace, turn, fired. Missed wide of the net. 3 minutes to go in the second period. Smith to Marcinko. Into Smith as Marcinko gets stepped into. Smith in over the blue line. Lets a shot go off the post, just wide. Menace. Cross ice to the right side. In over the Devils' blue line. Centering pass blocked by Paquette. Cleared. Gets that to Schleier. At the blue line, he pass up to McDonald, misfired. And the Menace dump it back into the Devils' zone. Paquette. Tipped by Menace. That'll go all the way into their end. Schleier back to pick it up. Tries to send it behind to McDonald. McDonald comes up with it. In the near corner, turning. Walks through the middle. Shot. That was blocked in front. Goes to the far half boards. Douglas turns and sends it through the middle. Pops over Schleier's stick. He gets it settled down. Intended for Douglas, picked off by the Menace. Menace dump it back in the Devils' zone. Topner picks it up behind his net. He pauses, sends it at the near side. That'll go past Douglas for icing. Minute 56 to go in the second period. McDonald steps in to take the face-off. Has at his feet. Menace almost dragged it out, just couldn't hold on to it. They'll pick it up in the near boards. Take it to the corner. Parlow runs in his man. Sends the puck out the far side for Martin. Sends it back in for Marlborough. To Martin off the boards to the blue line, but not out. And back to the point. Backhand shot in front. Hinneman steers it to the near side for Parlow. Menace. Pick that up. Nooks plays it behind the net for McDonald. McDonald up the far wing for Martin. He'll gain the blue line. Drop pass for Parlow with the shot. Rebound. Back to Parlow. He had to settle it down and couldn't get the shot off. Clearing pass. Tipped by Marble over the glass and out of play. Face off just outside the Devils' blue line. Marcinko for the face-off. Menace in over the blue line. Smith to Chopner, back to Smith. He'll leave that for Marcinko in over the blue line. Menace lift that high over everybody's head, back into the Devils' territory. Chopner cross to McEwen, up to Bray, to Marcinko in over the blue line down the left side. Marcinko behind the net. Gets Topner walking in. He lets the shot go. Blocked in front. Smith to Marcinko. Got a piece of the backhand. Shot deflected on net. 42 seconds to go in the period. Cinco in for the face-off. Comes out to the far board. There to the blue line. McEwen kept it in, dumps it in behind the net. Ray picks it up, takes it to the far corner. Spinning out front from Arsenko. He got a piece of it, but not enough to make it to the net. Menace threw that up to center ice. Topner across for McEwen. He's spinning back in his own end. Under pressure, plays it behind the net to the near corner. Topner gave it away. Menace trying to get a little too fancy. They don't even get the shot off. 10 seconds to go in the period. Played behind the net. McEwen's there. He'll send it around the far boards for Bray. Bray holds it along the boards. And that'll do it for the second period. All right, here we go to start the third period. McDonald in for the face-off. Loose puck picked up by McDonald. He took it up right in over the middle. McDonald cutting to the left. Behind the net, centering pass for Parlow. His shot was saved by the Milton goaltender. Right off the side of the net for icing. McDonald back into the face-off. Picked up by the Menace this time. Played around the near point. Menace there. He'll get it into Martin. And just strip that and send it around the far wing. Menace holds it there at the half boards. Kicks it for a second. Menace chipped it over the blue line, but McDonald picks it up. Drags it in. Devils are offside. They'll have to clear. Menace to center ice. Parlow pressuring. Menace sends it across to Marlborough and over the blue line. Marlborough cuts to the middle in traffic. Rebound. That goes off Parlow's skate and deflects wide. Menace back at center. Hindeman tries to send it off the boards, but got a little too much of it over the out of play. McDonald in for the face-off. Just outside the Devils' blue line. Has it in his feet. McDonald picks it up and gets tripped. No call. Okay, sent that to center, and the Menace dump it into the Devils' zone. Freer off the boards. Slyer. Menace kicked it over the heads into the behind the Devils' net. Paquette behind the net to Freer on the near side. He gets bumped off the puck. And the Menace chips it back in the corner. Paquette doesn't get all of it. Menace all over the Devils here to start the third period. Cleared around the near boards, up to center. Menace send it across ice. Douglas wins that foot race, drives the puck to the far corner. Schleier in to help him out. Schleier on it. Douglas steps in to help. Schleier comes up with it behind the net. Ref gets in the way. Menace get it to the far corner. McDonald dumps it in behind the Menace net. They'll regroup and send it at the far wing. Menace down the left side, in over the Devils' blue line. Drop pass, shot. On target, Milks holds it for the whistle. Cinco in for the face-off. Brings that back to McEwen. He turns, fires it hard around the board. Smith picks it up, chips it down the right side. Marcinko in the corner, centering pass for Bray with the shot, and he scores. Devils goal scored by number 22, Cooper Bray. Assisted by number 72, Matt Smith. 12:42 to go in the third period. Marcinko steps back in for the face-off. Menace win it. Chip it into the near corner of the Devils' territory. Topner gets a piece of it to the far corner. For Smith, up to Marcinko down the right wing. In over the Menace blue line. He'll lift it to the corner and go roll behind the net. Played to the near side. McEwen with the shot. That was steered wide of the net. To the far blue line. Topner kept it in to Smith. Smith centers for Topner. Topner lets the shot go, but doesn't get all of it. Missed wide of the net. Menace down the right wing in the Devils' territory. Driving past Smith. Milks makes the pad save. Rebound to the far side. Shot on net. Milks makes another pad save. McEwen clears it around to the near side. Milks will cover that for the whistle. Go to the net. McDonald in for the face-off. Bouncing puck, McDonald steers that to Hinneman in the near corner. Hinneman turns it Harder on the boards to the blue line, picked up by Marlborough. Marlborough into the Menace blue line. In the near corner, centering attempt. Picked up. Marlborough gets another chance, and the Menace intercepted. Menace in over the Devils blue line to the near side. Centering pass, shot, Noakes makes a save. Rebound, cleared out through center ice into the Menace zone. Beautiful shot of a guy's head. Now that he's standing in the way again. McDonald in for the faceoff. Gets that forward to Parlow. Parlow shovels it down the left side. I will go for icing. $11:18 to go in the third period. McDonald in for the faceoff. Throw that one dead pretty quick and start over again. McDonald gets that to Hinneman. He lifts it high up to center ice. Marlborough picks up that loose puck at center, brings it in over the right side, cuts through the middle, lets a shot go. Pad save, rebound to the near half boards. Menace cleared that to center ice. McDonald's waiting there for it. He'll bring it right back in the zone. Steps around one shot. Squeezed by the Milton goaltender and holds it for the whistle. He was okay, but now he's not okay. McDonald in for the face-off. Loose puck picked up by the Menace. They'll bring it up through center. Pass across to the near side. Shot through traffic, blocked by Paquette. Paquette gets a piece of it to McDonald. He'll send it out to center ice. Menace up the near wing, in over the blue line on target. Milks will cover that for the whistle. Donald on the face-off, loose puck. Menace cleared to the near board. Schleier picks it up. He'll take it down the right side or left side to Douglas in over the blue line, just out of his reach. Menace clear it back up to center ice, just over the Devils blue line. McDonald holds his man up. Loose puck clears to the far corner. Shot on target. Looks keeps that one out with a stick. McDonald around the near boards. Gets it to the blue line and out, but that's about it. Menace pass across to the far wing, lifts it into the Devils' territory. That'll roll behind the net. Freer on his man. Gets the puck to Marcinko, who tips it to Schleier. Schleier through center and over the Menace blue line. Cuts to the outside behind the net. Thrown out front. Paquette couldn't get a stick on it. He was tied up. Menace off the boards to center ice. Freer to Schleier. He'll bring it in over the blue line. Sends it to Bray on the near side. And to Schleier. Schleier out front, shot. I don't think that made it all the way through the net, and the Menace will clear it up through center ice. Menace over the Devils blue line. Paquette steering him to the far corner with Bray to the near side. Marcinko. He'll pick up the loose puck behind the net. Off the boards to Smith, out over the blue line. Menace turning, dumped it back in the Devils zone. And they'll have too many men. I know it's a penalty, but you don't have to throw your phone. Devils are going to the penalty box. 2 minutes for too many men on the ice. 9:03 to go in the third period. Martin in for the faceoff. Bouncing puck picked up by the Menace to the point shot. Wide of the net. Noakes steers the rebound to the far corner. He'll hold that shot for his for the whistle. Martin back in for the face-off. Scrum draw picked up on McEwen. He'll take it to the far corner, off the boards to the blue line, but not out. Menace to the half board, shot on target. Noakes makes a rebound or save. Topner clears the rebound to the near side. Menace to the point. Noakes saw that all the way. Rebound goes to the far point. Menace in at the half boards. Back to the point. To the slot shot. Off corner in. (6-5) with 8.5 minutes to play in the third period. McDonald in for the face-off. Some draw. Menace pick it up. Pass it towards the Devils' blue line. Cleared to the near boards by Marlborough. McDonald got a piece of it. Send it across ice for Parlow and over the blue line. Parlow to the corner. Menace stripped it. Played around the near half boards. Marlborough's in. Burns fires. Puck comes into the middle, but picked off by the Menace. Menace off the glass of the blue line. McDonald pressuring. Devils cleared the zone. Menace in over the Devils' blue line. Donald in for the face-off. Picked up by Marlborough to the blue line. He'll kick that up to center ice. Menace along the right wing. Dumped it into the Devils' territory. Hinneman picks it up. Lead pass for Parlow. Took a second to settle it down and runs into Martin at the blue line. Menace behind the net. The near side passed across to the left wing. Menace in over the Devils' blue line. Steered that towards the net. Noakes covers it for the whistle. .7:26 to go in the third period. McDonald in for the face-off. Done by the Menace. Douglas pressuring. Shot. Noakes gloved that one for the whistle. McDonald for the draw. Another one. Shot just wide of the net. Paquette hits the brakes. Sends it to the far corner for Freer. Back to Paquette. Paquette spinning. He gets pinned up against the boards. Menace couldn't connect with it. Weak shot. Missed wide. Rebound. Cleared to the near board. Schleier sends that to center ice. Menace turn and fire it back in the zone. Around to the far side. Freer pumps into his man. Puck comes to center. Freer off the far boards. Down the ice. That'll be on target. The Menace goaltender there holds on to it for the whistle. Marcinko in for the face-off. He's that one to Topner at the blue line. He scrambled, gets it back behind the Menace net. Smith gets pinned up against the boards. Marcinko on the puck. Feeds Topner at the point. Sends it back into the far corner. Marcinko spinning. Smith pokes at it. Bouncing puck. Smith backhands it to the near wing. Picked up by the Menace, and they'll bring it down the right side. In over the blue line. Topner gets it out of the zone. Menace pick it up and try to go back. Menace put it in. Topner's going to the box. A roughing. Just over 6 minutes to go in the third period. McDonald in for the face-off. The other way, ref. Menace to the point. Back into the half boards. Shot blocked by Hinneman. He'll get it to McDonald, who sends it down the ice. Menace goaltender sets it up. McDonald pressing with Martin. Menace down the left side, stopped at center ice, dumped it in. Hinneman's there. He'll turn and fire that down the ice. Martin with the shorthanded goal. Buries it. Devils goal scored by number 88, Joey Martin. Third of the game. 5:38 to go in the third period. McDonald in for the faceoff. One back. Marlborough turns off, fires it off the glass in behind the Milton net. Menace up through center. In over the Devils' blue line, drop pass to the point. He'll try to skate it in. McDonald had a piece of it. Couldn't get it out. Milks makes the save. Menace still with the puck in the zone. Shot off the blocker behind the net. Marlborough picks up that loose puck. He'll bring it down the left side. Thrown on net. Into the glove of the Menace goaltender. Plays it right after the whistle. 52 seconds to go on the penalty. McDonald steps in to take the face-off. McDonald wins that back to Freer, who sends it to the near side. Milton brings it back to their blue line, plays it up through center. McDonald gets a piece of it, chips it off the board, and he'll pick it up deep in the Menace zone. Hits the brakes, gets a bump, no call. Guess they'll let that go. Menace behind the net to the near wing. They'll bring it up through center. Pass it across, straight to Paquette. He'll play it off the boards and down the ice. 15 seconds to go in the penalty. McDonald pressuring, lost his stick. Schleier gets his man Menace in over the blue line offside. 6 seconds to go in the penalty. Marcinko in for the faceoff, just outside the Devils' blue line. Picked up by the Menace. They'll cut in over the blue line. Good stick by Marlborough to keep that puck out of the zone. Back to 5-on-5. Menace passed across. Hinneman intercepted that pass, takes it behind the net, hits the brakes. He'll send it off the glass up to center ice. Roll into the Menace territory. Bray to Marcinko. He lets a shot go, missed wide. That puck will come all the way back to center ice. Hinneman to Marlborough with the shot from outside the zone on target. Menace goaltender plays it. Loose puck, Smith gets it to the corner. Up to the blue line for Marlborough. Couldn't keep it in. Menace took it out. Marlborough intercepted it and brings it right back in the zone. Shot, loose puck. Marlborough's getting a bit of an assistance into the goaltender there. There's a head in the way. Marcinko in for the faceoff. Menace won that. Behind the net to the far boards. Here to the blue line and out. Topner does a good job keeping it in front of the Menace bench. Bray holds it there. Back to Bray. Runs out of room. Smith drags it in over the blue line. Gets it to Topner on the far corner. Topner dumps it behind the net. Smith and Bray run into each other. Menace picked off by Martin. He'll dump it back in the corner. Menace here back up to the blue line. Topner pinching. Martin from the point. Shot. A target held there by the Menace goaltender. .2:45 to go in the third period. Donald in for the faceoff. Loose puck picked up by Parlow. He lets a shot go. Blocked the pad save by the Milton goaltender. Paquette couldn't hold the blue line. Dumps it into the near corner. Milton plays out to the far side. McDonald intercepted it right to Parlow. Across to McDonald. He lets a shot go. Parlow gets hammered. Guess not. Yeah. McDonald on the faceoff. One back by the Menace. They'll play it around the near side. Paquette pinching, keeps it in at the half boards. Menace dump it around. Paquette shovels it to the near corner where he picks it up. Centering pass for Parlow. Wasn't expecting it. The Menace cleared it up there to their blue line through center ice. Paquette to McDonald. He'll send that across. Intended for Parlow, just out of his reach. Icing, waved off. Menace were there. Parlow bumps his man, and it'll be a delayed penalty. Long lead pass. In over the Devils' blue line. Pretty sure somebody touched it. Marlborough taking his time before he touched the puck to kill some more of the clock. Parlow to the box. Yeah, I think they gave it roughing. 2 minutes. Minute 40 to go in the third period. Marchenko went for the faceoff. Menace win the draw. Shot. Missed wide. Hinnemit off the glass. Now they'll go down the ice. Menace. The far wing. Almost intercepted by Bray. Marchenko gets the puck back in the zone. Menace up the right side. He runs out of room as Bray cuts off that avenue. Devils penalty, number 22, Cooper Bray. 2 minutes for roughing. So it will be 5-on-3. McDonald in for the faceoff. From draw. Hinnemit gets a piece of it and clears that to center ice. Menace regrouping. They'll send it across the far wing. Hinnemit picks it up. Hard around the boards to the near blue line and out. 1 minute to go in the third period. Menace regroup at center. Bring it in over the Devils blue line. Shot. The Oaks saw that one all the way from the blue line and makes the save. And Milton's taking the timeout. Killed some of the penalty, but it doesn't help. All right, here we go. McDonald in for the faceoff. draw. McDonald gets a piece of it. Marlborough turns, sends that down on target. Menace goaltender plays it up to their blue line. Menace down the right side in over the Devils' blue line. Comes to Hinneman in the far corner. He'll turn, fired around the near wing to the blue line, not out. Menace in deep to the half boards. Pass across to the far wing. Shot. That missed wide. Rebound comes to the near half boards. Played to the point. Shot through traffic. Blocked in front by McDonald. Menace still with possession. Shot over the net. Rebound. Comes to the near blue line again, but not out. Menace dumped it in. Marlborough sends it off the glass. That'll go all the way down the ice. And that'll do it for the game. Final score, Devils 6, Menace 5.